purposes for career, I'm going to do 5 searches. The first 3 are going to be on career discovery, being analytical, loving to research. There are certain things when I first had a discussion with a client, if they're working in something that I am unfamiliar with, and I would like to learn more about, and they're really interested in a certain kind of thing, like in this particular instance, it's about blockchain. I don't know much about blockchain. So what I put in here was, let's see, my client is introverted and loves blockchain opportunities. What jobs could she apply for?
Wow, that's very cool.
Yes. And they did say you can be very comfortable.
Okay, now, okay, network here. Damn, regenerate. There.
So you can immediately see how useful this would be for someone exploring careers.
So now, and one of these was, let's see. Blockchain developer. So let's say they're really interested in that. So what skills and or experience is required for a blockchain developer? Oops, misspelled blockchain.
It might correct for that, but we're not sure.
It sometimes does. Then you see this little down arrow here because I've already got the rest of it. It'll start looking at all these different development tools, applications, things that a person might need.
Oh, that's
so
neat.
It gives you the skills, and then that could tell a person what skills to develop and what skills they already have.
All that, yes.
And also what to put in their resume if they go forward into this arena.
Exactly, and you can help them learn how to do this as well. I mean, I enjoy doing it myself, but I don't necessarily give them all this information. I help them with a lot of this. It all depends on what our conversation is like.
Yeah, and if you're on Zoom with them, you can share your screen, show
Absolutely.
them some examples. So.
Exactly. So the third thing is, okay, so what industries might, did I write that? No, might be looking for a blockchain developer. So now it shows a variety of different kinds of industries.
This is such a great demo, Chris. This is amazing.
So then what I did, because I get really curious about these things, I ask it, develop a list of companies who are looking for a blockchain developer. Now, they don't have access to everything, but it does show you a variety of places where they could start looking.
And what's great about this is you don't have to see a job posting. You can instead look at these companies and start building relationships with the people who would hire a developer and go around that whole needing to see an opening. So you could scoop people and get it before they put it out.
Absolutely. And this is what I really love for me, because it reduced the time that I did this to about 5 minutes. And that's on interview prep. Because say for blockchain, I'm not familiar with blockchain. They get an interview wanting a blockchain developer. So what kind of questions would a hiring manager ask? So what I say is, you can say 10, 15, 50, 100 lists, and I'm just going to say list 10 behavioral interview. Oh, crap. Oops, sorry. Interview questions a blockchain developer might be asked in an interview. And so you can have 10, 50, 100 questions.
So you don't have to create them.
That is so cool.
There are times
awesome.
when, like if I'm working with manager, and I've had other managers, so I pull some of the interview questions that has been asked in the past. But I also would do this as well, because there could be additional ones that I hadn't heard of or thought of, especially since business is constantly being updated constantly. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. You can do just about anything, ask anything, and it will do amazing kinds of things. I went to a presentation online about using AI, and like you could look at one of these questions, and you could actually ask, it says describe a scenario you had to troubleshoot and debug a blockchain application. You might want to drill farther down because the person may have had a job previously and they were fired for some reason, I don't know. And so you wanted to ask additional questions, or you might say, what would be a great answer, to mitigate something? So it's great.
What if you asked it, can you send me resumes of blockchain developers? Would it send you an actual resume?
I don't know. Can you
I think so.
send me resumes or examples of resumes of blockchain developers? No, but it does say some of the things that you might want to put into one, but this is like general kinds of information.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing you can do, from what I've read, is put your resume in there. Like you could say, take my resume and revise it to make it more applicable to a blockchain developer job.
Exactly.
And then you can put your you can put your resume in there, and it'll rewrite. Now, the higher the complexity, the worse your quality is going to be. So writing a resume, maybe you don't get a great response for that. But like, write me an elevator speech for developing or being a blockchain developer.
Exactly, yes,
and
all those things.
So you can also put information in it, and it can review. You can put in critique my resume. Now,
How do you
there's a
upload it?
caveat. You would just put it right in there.
Okay.
And I don't
You just
know what
copy
the
it in.
syntax is, but you just copy and paste it in there.
Yeah,
There is a caveat on the resume, which is if you put your resume into ChatGPT, it's now part of the information that it uses. And so if you had a really unique set of skills, it could be you're giving it information that somebody else could use to compete with you.
Makes sense.
So things that are like I was thinking about with my website, I wouldn't put a sales landing page in there, but I might put you know, another page that's not as central to what we're doing. You know, something that's more general, I might put a web page in there and have it, and you could have it even just check for grammar or really a lot of different things. Chris, I kind of jumped in. Let me get out of
no,
the way.
not at all. That was basically all that I wanted to show you. That is the tip of the iceberg. We can do anything. I have a client who loves AI, absolutely adores it, and has used AI in developing a variety of applications for his company. And he has used it also for cover letters and other things. Now, he found, I have no idea how he found it. I asked him, how did he find it? He says, I don't know. It just kind of showed up. It's called Teal, T-E-A-L. And you can start from the very scratch. I created an account. It's free. You can add for a monthly fee for additional kinds of things. But you can start from the very beginning. It'll ask you questions from that a resume writer would ask, all the way through to looking at your resume versus a job description of something that you have found, say on an Indeed, and it will look at how many of the keywords you have or what is similar to the keywords, and if you want to change them to that particular keyword. It goes through all kinds of stuff. That's an AI program right there. So I don't know much about Teal, but all these AI things can really do some amazing things. And they're not invincible either. And they do have bias. So you have to take those things into consideration. And sometimes I will double check in Google or wherever else I'm find myself in to make sure that what I'm passing on is correct. But yeah, it's pretty cool.